Hello.
Boom. How you going, Big A?
I'm good, mate. Yourself?
I
As
am
how have you
fantastic.
how have you pulled up after all those quarterfinal workouts?
Well, that's why I'm feeling fantastic.
That's awesome. I
Goddamn
think,
quarterfinals are over.
but you
Thank
but you're a glutton for
God.
punishment. You've qualified for the
Thank
next. You've
thank
qualified for the
God.
next stuff, though, haven't you? You're into the semis probably with that
Yeah,
performance.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, the leaderboard as it stands, I think it's personally I'm sitting at 111th when I checked this morning anyway.
And that's
100,
worldwide.
111th worldwide, yeah.
And I think you're
Eh,
13th in Australia in Oceania.
I didn't
So
check that. I didn't check that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So I did.
um,
So you're 13th.
yeah.
You've pretty much maintained your position from the last few years.
Oh, okay.
So
So getting older and maintaining ranking. I'm pretty happy with that.
yeah, you should be. So opportunity to do more workouts in
Yeah.
another month. So
Yep. Did you enjoy the quarters? You're a big part of it. Lots of judging, lots of
yeah,
cheering,
it was awesome. It
supervising.
was awesome. So
Yep.
it's so exciting to see the caliber of athletes that you
Yeah.
know that we're getting at CrossFit Neuro now. Like
Yep. Yep.
like they're very good athletes.
Yep.
Probably four or five of them have got. They're going to be at Torian or they're knocking on the door of Torian. So
We
exceptional.
know four of our coaches. Well, one's going to be on the floor on the Coliseum, Benny, with his team.
Yep.
On the main floor competing, and then we know Kira, Jono, and Jet. They also were good enough to qualify for a online semi-final, top 2,000 in the
Yeah.
world.
100
Uh,
100%. I think Jet was just inside the thousand. I think it was like 960th or something, and
yeah,
I think Jono was just outside the thousand.
yeah,
So
yep,
they've both improved dramatically every year. Like they
yep.
continue their slope is
Mm,
continuing to go upwards.
mm.
So
And
it's exciting.
also just not so much the elite guys, but a huge chunk of our membership were signing up for the quarters, and so we had a really good vibe over the weekend with
Yeah.
the heats and just watching everyone do it and strategizing. That was spectacular. I think that's probably the biggest year we've had in terms of the membership progressing
Yeah, I
on
think I think you had
from the
like
open.
you had yeah you I mean it's the percentage is completely correct, right? So I think we had 52 people or something that were signed up
Mm,
for the open, and I think 14 made it. So it was
mm,
just over the
mm.
25%
Yeah,
made it to the quarters, which is like
yeah,
awesome, right? So that's
yeah.
I haven't seen that many people make it to the next level since being at
Mm.
CrossFit Neuro. So and lots
But
of
not
people
only
still
that,
knocking on the door too to get to their quarters as well.
yeah, yeah.
So
Not only that, I'm on holidays. We're on holidays. It's RDO for me tomorrow. Well, I'll still be working, but it's not a normal work day for me tomorrow. Um, and and then I'm on holidays for the Easter holidays, so I get to no more surgery and consulting for a couple of days for a week. Should be fun.
yes, yes.
So that's another reason. That's
So
another reason to be
well,
excited.
that'll be good. So you need a break. You and Joe need a break.
Do we need a break? Yep.
You've worked tirelessly. Haven't got to the farm because you had to
Yes.
coordinate all the quarterfinals. So
Yes. Yes.
so are you going to the farm?
We will be going to the farm. Absolutely. Yep. Got to
Nice,
look after the
awesome,
little
awesome.
mooches. And we're also excited for, let me bring on this little picture here. This fellow who's joining us today.
Yes, very cool. Very cool that
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
decided to
Yeah.
come on
Yeah.
our little podcast. Um,
Yeah. Brent Williams. We
so
don't we don't know too much about Brent. I did see this sort of accolade announcement from CrossFit when we started the Open, and I thought, oh, that's a pretty cool thing to do. And it was obviously like going to be a global thing that someone was going to be nominated each week. So this is week 2 for Brent. So I thought, we thought, why don't we get him on the show? And as expected, for someone who has such a prestigious award bestowed upon them, he goes, absolutely, I'll come on your show.
Yeah.
So shall we bring him on?
We shall bring him on. Let's bring him on.
Okay.
G'day, Brent. How you going, mate?
Hello, boys. How are we?
Fantastic.
We're good?
We are
Thank you for
good.
having me.
Thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Humbled.
And you look exactly like your photograph too.
Which is, few more greys.
Which is great. That is a lovely photo. And the lady next to you, Brent?
My better half, Mari is her name.
Mari.
She's in quarterfinals herself.
Yes.
She qualified in both open and age category, and
oh wow,
she's doing well.
Congratulations, Mari. Yeah. What age category is Mari in?
She's in the 45 to 49s.
Wow, young chicken.
Spring chicken.
Yeah. 45 to 49. That's great. Okay. Well, Brent, was this? Tell us how this all happened. What happened? How did this come about?
So yeah, I was cruising through life, just doing what I do. I was playing rugby, rowing surf boats, training, doing everything. And I actually went to the hospital to get a checkup on my knees. And they decided, for some reason, they threw me in the MRI machine. And then I got out of the MRI machine. I was in there a long time. And the guy said, oh, mate, listen, you've got to go down. I was at St. Vincent's Hospital in Sydney. He said, you've got to go downstairs to this room and see this doctor. And I'm sitting outside this room, and it's got brain dude written on the door.
A brain.
And he's called me, in, and he said, how you going? Oh, yeah, great. How are you? What's doing? You going to fix my knees? And he said, no, I'm not actually. He said, we've had some stuff come out of your MRI that you're obviously not aware of. Number one, you've got polycystic kidney disease, and you've got a massive arachnoid cyst on the back left-hand side of your brain. And we're just going to round table with some surgeons to see what we're going to do about this arachnoid cyst on the back of the brain, whether we should remove it or not. And so sit tight. So I sat tight for about 3 hours going, oh, man, I just want to go home. And they came back and said, look, you're asymptomatic.
Asymptomatic, yep.
Here's some guidelines. If you get, fogginess or anything else, you're going to have to come back in, and we're going to do something about it. And he said, now you got to go upstairs and see this kidney dude. so it just snowballed.
So, Brent, you went in to have some investigations on your knees.
Yeah, that's right.
With some sort of scanning device, with an MRI scan, I'm imagining.
Yeah.
Is that right? You went in, and then
that's correct.
For some reason they identified, and you didn't know you had this kidney disease at this time.
No idea. No idea.
Okay. It was just for your knees. How long ago was that?
2010.
Okay, 2010.
16 years.
Yeah, and they said to me at the time, look, you're really healthy, you're really fit, your GFR's not too bad, was hovering around 52, 57. They said, you're not going to need dialysis until you're in your 80s, the way you track. And then everything was fine and dandy until 2 years ago, and I was starting to get out of breath pretty badly during workouts, and I'm thinking, oh, man, what's going on? Couldn't work it out. And then one day I was walking up a tiny little hill to my car, and I collapsed and had to sit in the gutter. I couldn't breathe. And I thought, oh, this is all wrong. So rang my nephrologist, my kidney specialist, said, look, this has happened. And she said, you need to get to hospital straight away. And that was it. And the next thing I woke up and I had all these tubes hanging out of my neck, and the rest is history.
Wow.
And so what
was the trigger, Brent? Like, what all of a sudden?
Why did it fall off a cliff? I'm going to put my stamp on sugar. I had a notoriously bad sugar intake. It would be nothing for me to finish training and sit down to a litre of ice cream and a family block of chocolate. I just thought I was bulletproof because I trained so hard and my diet predominantly was good. But, you know, my sugar intake, I didn't have any other habits. I didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't do I trained hard, trained a lot. Yeah. And so I had this false impression of myself that I was completely bulletproof. Yeah. And I thoroughly believe it's the sugar that ate away at my system.
Yeah. Well, it'll eat away at your system even if you don't have any genetic kidney problem, right? So even healthy people develop it. So let's go back a little bit though, Brent. You started. How long have you been involved in the sport of CrossFit? Or
since about 2010. That'd be right.
Yep.
2011. Okay. Yeah, because I opened this CrossFit in 2013. So yeah, I was with Chad and Starry in about 2010, 2011, roughly thereabouts.
Okay, so this is your affiliate, CrossFit Avalon Beach.
Yeah, that's it.
And so is that how? Yeah, we're going to show some pictures just for our viewers or listeners who have no idea where Avalon Beach is. We'll show some photographs. But is this the only location that that you've had a CrossFit affiliate? You've been there since 2010, or?
No, I opened this in 2013. Okay. Prior to that, I'd helped opened. There's one in the city called CrossFit KGV. So I helped them open that, get that running, started programming for it and coaching. And prior to that was with I was personal training. I was a bodybuilder before this, or before CrossFit came about, and that's where I met Luke Starr from Star Strength and the well-credentialed Chad McKay at a place called it's in the middle of the pool. I can't think of the name.
Newcastle?
No, it's in Sydney. It's smack bang in the middle of the city. There's like a pool. Anyway, that's where I met those guys. And it was also the initial location of CrossFit Sydney, or Sydney CrossFit, which was owned by a guy called Catamol. And that's where I got into CrossFit. The boys said, "Oh, come and do a workout." I was like, "What are you doing?" They said, "Oh, we're doing this thing called CrossFit." So I think Ellen. Anyway, I threw up halfway around the run and went, "This is unreal."
This is for me. This is for me.
It was great. So yeah, that was my introduction to CrossFit. And we all, Starry and I, and a couple of, did Chad? Yeah, Chad and myself went down to Schwartz, CrossFit Schwartz in Melbourne. We did our level ones. And the rest is history. We just kind of went on from there. Wow. The opportunity came up. The surf club that I'm a member of and I row for, they did a renovation and they ran out of money, and they were going to put all the old rusted 60s, 70s equipment back in the gym. And I said, "No, look, I got a better idea. How about you let me kit it out, run classes, and surf club members can use the gym when I'm not using it." So we've been there, 11 years.
And what sort of sport did you do before CrossFit? Before you got that? Before you dipped the toe in the water there, and you know, were you a bit of a fitness enthusiast, or was it just the surf club stuff?
No, well, I rode surf boats for the surf club, and I was still playing rugby up until about 46. I had my last game of rugby at 46. I'd come. Yeah, but I was a poof to back. It's not like I did any work.
Okay, and so when you got introduced to CrossFit, you could you sort of very quickly embraced it, the intensity and how hard it was.
I think that's the thing. What attracts, I think, most people to CrossFit, for people like me anyway, and probably yourselves, is that challenge of yourself. You're going to take it up another notch from your normal. So, like I said, prior to this, I'd been bodybuilding, rowing boats, rugby training, but I'd never really pushed myself the way I had to learn to do in CrossFit.
Yeah.
And I thought that, that was amazing. That's such a great thing to do for, your psychology. And this is, I think, and this is why I think these days, now with the position that I'm in, it's having done CrossFit that helps me balance my life now, because it's such a change. And there's no doubt, like, the biggest thing for me is my community. Those people that come to that gym with me and training, and they just lift me every day. They don't understand how much support they give me and how important they are as a community in my life, and the CrossFit in general as a whole.
Yes.
An amazing community.
It is a really hard thing to describe to people that are not entrenched in it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
The value and support.
The support network.
So how did you get to Avalon Beach then, Brent? What did you?
I grew up there, mate.
That's home for you. All right. Okay.
Yeah, that was home in the latter part of from about 6 or 7 years old upwards. I was adopted into a family there that took me in. I lost my mum pretty young, my dad pretty young. And so they took me in, and I moved to Avalon Beach. Had no idea, had 3 stepbrothers, and went through schooling there. And and so when I'd left Avalon probably in my early 20s, and I'd gone off and traipsed around the world, taught English in Korea for 3.5 years. Then I wound up working going between the Gold Coast and the snow. And it was just because I was back in Sydney, and this opportunity I'd gone back to rowing, again, quite accidentally. I had no intention of rowing, but my previous sweep, I ran into him and he said, "Oh, we need you back. I need a rower." And I was like, "Well, you must be desperate, but I'll rock up anyway." And it's just one thing led to another, the timing. It was just about the timing. We were right spot at the right time for when they rebuilt the club. And we got the opportunity to kit out. And like I said, we've been there 11 years. So it's quite a ride.
Yeah. So have you got any of the surf club members doing CrossFit?
Yeah, we do. We've got a few of them in there. I'd say probably a third of our membership base would be surf club members.
Awesome. That's great. So it would definitely be a great sport to reciprocate between, because like it's such a strength sport, like surf lifesaving. People don't realize how much it is.
Yeah, and I was involved with our rowers up until fairly recently, writing programs and doing pukey work with them. And we're pretty successful for a tiny little surf club that we are. Our guys on the weekend.
So what's your 2 kilometers run time? What's your 2 kilometer time? Not now, obviously, but when you couldn't tell.
No, wouldn't have a clue.
Oh, I thought you'd have some. What are you rowing for 500 meters then? What speed?
Well, if I'm not crook.
Yeah, if you're not crook. Obviously, if you're not crook.
Probably want to sit on around 128.
Oh, that's fast.
But
128,
that's
Dave.
That's technique. That's from being in a boat since I was 16. And you can see the difference. Like our rowers come in and they jump on the rowers, and it's just chalk and cheese between the guys that have been rowing boats their whole life. And, we've got this kid and he's only a baby, and he'll sit on about 116 115.
What? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So,
So you guys
but
are
it's,
pretty much you're part of the surf club, are you? CrossFit
no,
Avalon
no,
Beach
we
is not.
just lease space from them, and we
Yep,
have this agreement that club members can use the space at any time. They've got keys
Yep.
that they can let themselves in and train.
Yeah.
And our job
Yeah.
is just to maintain the gym. You know, we clean the floors, keep the equipment clean. It's bloody hard though, because as you can see, we are literally right on a beach, and the rust.
All the
the rust that
the
sand's a pain, but the rust is a killer. Absolute killer.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of surf lifesaver club members who come down and do some CrossFit training as well.
Oh, there's a few.
Yeah.
A lot of them. I kind of feel like sometimes Avalon's. It's a strange beast, Avalon. People have got a lot of stuff going on, if you know what I mean. So people tend to stay in their lanes, and especially with the surf club guys, to some extent, a lot of them do their surf training, but that's all they do. They don't correlate over into the strength work, or, you know, and it kind of irks me a bit sometimes, especially with our rowers. When I had the rowers under my belt, they were unbeatable, just because the engines they built doing CrossFit.
Yeah, the CrossFit will make them better rowers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like an absolutely beautiful place. I have spent a little bit of time there. You know, is it anything like Wollongong, Newcastle?
I guess it is to some extent, but it's very tiny. It has a population of 9,000, I think. So it's nowhere near as big as, you know, it's enveloped almost like a bay situation. So it's a pretty tight community.
Do you incorporate the beach into your training at all? Like,
we do.
Send them off on swims and stuff like that?
Yep, we certainly do, especially now when the water's really warm. So we'll do a bit of strength work. We P&F stretch every day. One limb. We pick on one form of P&F every day. But yeah, so we do Sandhill Fridays, for example. So out the front of our club, it just drops off into this long 20, 30, 35 metre sandhill. So we'll get them to do sprints up and down the sandhill. They might do kettlebell swings, wall balls, burpees, tag your partner, you go, I go, that kind of stuff. Or we'll send them off on a big long one where they'll run up to the north end, run down. They'll have to do travelling burpees. I might go out. If I think we'll give people an option, I might either paddle out on a board and they've got to swim out around me. So if it's a flat day, nice flat day, they'll swim out around me. And we say to those guys that are not confident with swimming, just wade out to wherever you're comfortable and wade back in and do that 2 or 3 times. Or if it's a low tide bank, I'll go out on the low tide bank and they'll have to run through the water to get out to me, up the pool, swim some laps, come back. And so we might do that on a Saturday, because a Saturday's more of a longer workout day. It's a great day to incorporate the beach. And
so your membership are all pretty confident swimmers then, hey?
I think most of them are, yeah. Most of them are pretty good swimmers, especially the surf club guys. They all have to swim at the beginning of each year. So, and it's a good skill. Look, we live on a beach. You know, the non-negotiable for my kids, swimming. 2 things: you swim and you box. That's all there is to it. You don't get to no negotiation.
Yeah. And what was your career? What was your work career? Or are you retired now, other than your CrossFit box, or do you still work? Or
I just run the box. That's it. I do run the box and coach. That's I was. Oh my God, I've had more jobs than you've had hot breakfasts. I've been labourer. Been a flight attendant with Ansett before. I was flying
Ansett. Ansett. Lots of people wouldn't have ever heard of it. Bob Ansett.
No. I was a flight attendant with Ansett when they
budget
crashed.
rent a car. Yeah. Okay, right.
taught English in Korea.
Yeah.
I worked hospitality a lot. I would manage
Okay.
a ski lodge down in the snow. I was manager at the Jolly Swagman.
Oh.
The Man from Snowy River Hotel. So I did a lot of
Yep.
hospitality work, especially when I was doing Gold Coast.
Yep.
And in between all that, I'd play footy. I'd find a club, play footy, find
Yep.
a club, row. I rode with North Burleigh, and
All right.
so
Okay. Bit of time on the Gold Coast too, then.
absolutely none.
Yeah. Yeah. So a very colourful life experience then.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. It's like sometimes I look at it and think, like my wife's the complete opposite. She's a director with KPMG. She's a lawyer, so I don't win any arguments. I can't win an argument to save my life.
Right.
But she's so planned and so mapped. She trains with Star Strength these days. So everything's mapped out. She's up at 4:30, trains for 2 hours, comes in, does the kids, blah, blah. So our lives are complete polar opposites, which makes us, such a great match. It's so much fun. It's so different being so complete opposites. But I've lived by flying by the seat of my pants my whole life. And it just works. For some people, it works, and it has done for me. There's been some falls and stuff, but most of the time you land on your feet and you pick yourself up and you go again. And the beauty of that is when I got smacked down with this, PKD and went into renal failure, it was okay, well, just have a whinge and then get on with it. And so, there's plenty of silver linings to this kind of stuff, plenty of silver linings. It's not doom and gloom. And I think it's all about the perspective you take on it, how you look at it. And trust me, look, I'm not this upbeat, fantastic guy 24/7. Ask my wife. There's days where I bottom out really badly. If I've come to dialysis and they've taken too much water off me, I'll be in bed with a migraine for 15 hours with my head pumping. I'm in a bad mood. So I'm not the nicest guy to be around sometimes. And that just goes with the territory. But my long, loving, beautiful other half puts up with me. And so do my clients. They're all like, oh, God, he's had one. Come on, have a coffee, Brent.
So how often, how has that changed? How have you kind of managed that change in the context of your training regime? Like, what does a normal week look like for you, Brent?
Very hickledy-pickledy. I can't. It's very difficult to get into routine because of the dialysis. There's days when I feel great and I can just go to work. I can punch out a leg workout, get some squats in, do a small WOD. A lot of my work initially when I started back was just cardio. I didn't lift any weights. What people wouldn't understand with dialysis patients is, especially with PKD, I don't produce red blood cells anymore, which means I don't produce oxygen. And with a dicky heart, it becomes a bit of a problem. I really have to manage my heart rate and how I train so that I don't just run out of gas and just have to sit in the corner. So
is the PKD related to your heart as well, or is that a different kind of ailment?
Look, no one's been able to tell me because the cysts have moved to my liver as well. So my liver function's compromised. The heart thing, no one's been able to correlate. But I would assume, I'm just going to assume something, because when I had my heart tested not that long ago, and the guy said to me, oh, mate, you got the heart of a 25-year-old. You're brilliant. Get out. And so for it to all fall off a cliff, interesting. It's intriguing. The hardest thing is the battle of going from competitive, well, in my own head, I'm competitive athlete, someone who just loves being in the mix, to not being in the mix anymore, having to stand back and watch most of it. I can't row surf boats anymore. I can't jump back on a rugby field, and even if I wanted to. And that, without fail, is the hardest part, that mental adjustment. But again, with CrossFit and my community and everyone around you, I would hate to be doing this journey on my own, just hanging out. Like I see some people and they are just on their own, and you see they're miserable. They're if you go into a dialysis ward or any chronic disease ward, which Dave, I'm sure you've been in a million of them, there's people in there that they're just giving up. They're not just waiting to die, basically. So it's kind of that whole thing, get busy living or get busy dying. One of the two. There's no middle ground. So for me, it's like, well, pull your head in, get on with it. There's people in way worse conditions than you, buddy. And that's the thing to remember. There are people worse off, way worse off than what I am. So, and like I said, I think that CrossFit has given me the background to deal with it and the inner circle now to be able to keep moving forward and just do whatever I do. The goal in the long term is to beat this thing. That's what I'm hoping.
I love that. So, and what do you have, is there like support groups for like people with PKD? Because I don't imagine it's a fairly rare disease, right? It's not like, common. Like, do you have other people that that kind of are experiencing the same thing apart from? No.
And to be honest with you, anybody that so these days I do dialysis at home. I've got a machine there and nurse comes and plugs me in and away we go. When I was doing it at the hospital, most people, unfortunately, just had such negative outlooks on themselves and dialysis and PKD and the talk was very negative all the time. Wasn't, and if I mentioned to someone, listen, I'm getting over this thing. Oh, you haven't got a hope. Don't kid yourself. The usual rhetoric. So I kind of feel like I need to run this journey and surround myself in the people that go, yeah, Brent, you can do it, man. You can do this.
They don't. When you turn up at the box, they don't look at you like you've got some sort of disease or limitation or disability. It's just, there's Brent and he's going to work out. And if he scales appropriately, he may even beat us.
Yeah. That's exactly right. I just look. No one in there just, they don't feel sorry for me or anything. They're just supportive, and we just get on with it day in, day out. So very lucky, very blessed to have the people that, surround me. I've got an inner circle there too, as you guys probably have, of very, very tight, very, very close people you've known, like the girl in the background, Kate, with the bag around her neck. She's been with me for 11 years. She's amazing. And there's a lot of them, and Lizzie, and there's a few of them there that have just been with me ever since day one we opened. And so when you've got a support network like that, oh man, it just makes it so much easier. That's what I mean. I don't understand. It must be so hard for some people that are doing this kind of thing on their own or with family that's removed or distant, and I know there's people out there like that. But I'd say to them, go join a CrossFit. Seriously, it doesn't matter how crook you are. It doesn't matter the amount of times, and you guys would have heard this, I'll join when I get fit. Love $1 for everyone that said to me, I'll join when I get fit. I'm like, dude.
What about pain? Do you get any pain as a consequence of your disease? Does it cause pain in any way?
Yeah, well, so I've got bad shoulders as it is from footy and skiing and what have you, and my right shoulder's bone on bone. So unfortunately, because your kidneys work 24/7, and my kidneys flush and clean my blood 4 hours, 3 days a week. So I never really get to clear all the toxicity out of my system, and therefore inflammation is kind of like the last bastion. So my body cleans the blood, clears itself. Oh, inflammation. No, I'm not going to worry about that. So unfortunately, it is what it is. My shoulders, especially my right shoulder, is in pain.
So that's more of a osteoarthritic process too.
Yeah.
Like even if you didn't have the PKD, you'd probably have some dicky shoulders.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in regards to the dialysis process and the polycystic kidneys, does that cause you any discomfort in your back or your loins or anything like that? Doesn't?
No, not at all. And it's crazy because I read about people having on dialysis with enlarged kidneys and pain. And I had absolutely zero, none whatsoever.
Wow.
Sorry.
We've got a little comment here from Joanne.
Yeah, Joanne. Hey, Joanne.
Joanne is actually, believe it or not, Brent, Joanne is my missus, and she has PKD.
She's got PKD. Oh my gosh.
She has PKD. So there's 2 affiliate owners in, within QE of each other. PKD.
So when did Joe find out she had PKD?
Well, probably in her early 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And her GFR is obviously still high enough to.
Yeah. She's not needing dialysis, and hopefully never will.
Absolutely.
This was another question of Joanne's. Hey, Brent, looking back before the sudden drop and need for dialysis, do you now see any signs that you may have missed at the time?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So number one, my GFR was dropping, and I ignored it because again, I thought I was bulletproof, and I was starting to blow badly in workouts that I shouldn't have been blowing so hard in, longer recovery, and I just didn't see it. I just said, I'm getting old, whatever. Just went off.
Do you think it may be a bit of denial that, you see the number and no, that's not going to happen to me. It's just a number.
100%.
I feel great. Look, and then suddenly the biology kind of takes over.
I couldn't agree with you more, mate. That's exactly what it was. I was in complete denial because you're fit and I'm rowing. I'm 50 years old. I'm 55 or whatever it was, and I'm doing all this stuff. There's no way I could be sick on the inside or in my head. So you're absolutely bang on.
And did the doctors that looked after you, did they say, hey, Brent, you thought about, maybe did they say anything to you that may have prolonged the time before requiring dialysis? Was there any sort of talk about that?
No. I kind of feel like they're just in a big hurry to give you medication and get you onto the dialysis. But the other thing is, self-responsibility. I should have known better. I shouldn't have been intaking the amount of sugar that I was. Period.
So was that purely out of, Brent, was that purely out of just enjoyment of sugar, like ice cream and chocolate, or were you fueling your workouts with like high sugar carbs as well?
No, mate. No, I'm not funny enough, I'm not that big an eater, especially before a workout or before training. It was kind of like, it would be just at home or sitting down, or if I came home from rowing. It's like on the way home from rowing, first stop would be McDonald's, and I'd have 2 quarter pounders with cheese, fillet of fish, large fries, chocolate thick shake, orange juice, and 2 cheeseburgers.
Wow.
That was my stock standard order.
I don't think Joanne is doing that.
Not that you know of, Dave.
No. Joanne, can you just put a comment up, Joanne, if that's what you're doing? Stop that now. But no, I think Joanne's very diligent with her nutritional intake. But yeah, I mean,
Is she carnivore like you,
that's a
Dave?
vice. Pretty much, yeah. So this is one of the other things that sometimes the kidney doctors have a little bit of a bit of a problem with, but that's the choice that she's made. And in more recent times, when she's seen some more contemporary kidney specialists, they've gone, yeah, that's okay. There's some emerging evidence that that's actually pretty healthy because it's anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, right.
Carnivore and nutritional ketosis is anti-inflammatory, so that's starting to come into more recognition,
Which is a good thing, man. I think one of the things we just don't give that stuff. We don't give nutrition a big enough seat at the table when it comes to recovery, athletic pursuit. It's massive.
It's huge. To shout out to Axel there. Do you know Axel?
I do.
Brent?
Axel's one of our members. Hey, buddy. He's actually back in Germany.
Oh,
so
right.
He was with us. He's with us for years. He recently popped in. He took a bus from the city all the way down just to have a workout with us. Bless his cotton socks.
Yeah. Is he Aussie or is he a German or?
He is German.
Okay.
And he's the most wonderful human being.
Thanks for watching, Axel.
Class act.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share the camp podcast with your mates.
Yeah, all of you guys.
Thanks for watching and commenting. Yeah, you were talking about nutrition there, being it's the cornerstone of your health, right? It's the
right.
fuel.
And so you go to hospital, and what do they give you? Jelly. Overcooked vegetables that are just dead in the water, or macaroni, or spaghetti, or bolognese, or just the garbage they feed for recovery.
I know.
Then, we were having this chat the other day about, and I can't believe at this day and age with how popular breath work is. Like I do breath work most days, and I've got a breath hold on an exhale of 346. That's not bad for someone who's half dead.
And we explain what that means. 346. You breathe in and hold your breath for 3 minutes.
No, you breathe out and hold your breath.
You hold your breath on the exhale.
You breathe out after exhaling.
So you do a round, Dave. So you might do like 30 breaths in and out, and you don't break at the top and the bottom. So you just you hyperventilate.
Hyperventilating. Yeah.
And then on your 30th breath, you'll breathe out, fully breathe out.
Is that when you pass out? Do you pass out from
no. So you just hold
as you're getting dizzy and
Well, you lie down and do it. You don't do it driving a car, Dave.
Sometimes I feel like I'm going to whiz my pants.
Yeah.
Seriously want to feel like I'm going to release.
Yeah.
If I take it really far,
You mean while you're holding your breath?
Yeah.
Or during the hyperventilation? Oh wow.
No,
you get a bit euphoric. You get a bit euphoric. You get
I don't know what it is. It's kind of weird.
Wow. How often do you do that?
Oh, I don't push it that hard. It just depends. Look, it's a feeling thing. Some days you feel great, and you're going to do long holds, and you get to, I call it my happy place. So you get to about the 2-minute mark, and you go, the second bell goes, and I go, oh, happy place. And it's kind of like in my head, I'm saying, I don't need to breathe. I seriously don't need to breathe. This is great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then you hang out, and then all of a sudden you get to a place, oh, fuck, I need to breathe. I don't want to breathe. I'm going to break the record. I'm going to wee my pants. I don't want to breathe.
Wow. Jeez. So why did you start doing that? Why did you start doing that? What prompted you to take on that little sort of personal endeavor?
So I was actually looking at breath work as a way of increasing cardiorespiratory output with athletes. And so I went off and did a course with Johannes Expert. He's got a business called Breathless.
Breathless Expeditions.
Yeah, Breathless Expeditions. And we covered one of the days we were there was all about athletic pursuit and learning to breathe through the nose, increasing nitric oxide, because you can't get nitric oxide through the mouth. You can only get it through the nose. And learning those 4 stages of breathing. So in through the nose only, in through the nose and the mouth, in through the nose and the mouth, and then gasping through the mouth. And over the testing, you start to work out where your tolerances are. And we found that the further we went, the more that we were controlling our nose breathing, the further we would go, especially on things like a beep test and what have you. So for me, breathwork has a number of applications. We know people use it as a holistic, sort of a journey for getting, removing maybe some blockages. I've been through that. People use it in the athletic pursuit, as we spoke about, where we're trying to increase cardio and respiratory output. I think an area that it's missing greatly is in recovery, post-surgery, because we know oxygen is life and we know our organs need oxygen. So if you can sit there for, Anthony, how long is your breath? My breath session lasts about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Yours?
probably around that 20 minutes.
About 20 minutes.
Do it. Yeah.
And that's not a lot of time if you consider how much you're flooding your body and you're flooding your extremities and flooding your organs with oxygen. And that's if you're in recovery, and that's why. So that's the reason I started it. Was, part of the reason I started it was to get more oxygen into my system, because I knew I was struggling. So yeah, I think it's a really, really valuable tool. So I do breath work on Sunday mornings with my clients. It's a freebie class. Anyone can turn up. Anyone.
So you do that at the box at the in the gym.
Yep. It started out because my kids were doing nippers, and I was into avoidance behaviour. So I said to the wife, "You go do the nippers, and I'll go in here and do breath work." And then I thought, well, if I'm going to do breath work, I might as well invite some friends.
Yep.
And so we do breath work for 20 minutes, half an hour, and then we PNF stretch for half an hour.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool Sunday.
That is very cool. So do you facilitate the breath work, or do you just all do it together?
No, we just do it together, basically. But I kind of run it and facilitate it, I guess.
You just put the Wim Hof breathing thing on, and away you go.
And away we go. And then I look after get the and the PNF's good too. Especially for we've got, if we were to compare I was having to look at some of the photos of CrossFit Neuro and piddling myself laughing. You guys have got such a young client base, and we have an older client base. Not completely. We've got quite a few young crew, but quite a few older guys, and they're stiff, or the rugby players are stiff. So that's why we started to bring in the PNF. It's such a good module. It's such a good way to release, joints.
Explain that. Explain what you do there.
Sure. So PNF is an acronym for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, which is a fancy way of saying we're stretching. So on the end of all the tendons, you've got something called a Golgi tendon organ, and its job is to set messages to the brain to stop you from overstretching. So what we do, if you can see my hand, I'll imagine that this is someone's leg, and we'll stand with a partner, and we'll take that leg up in like a karate kick until that person says to me, "Yep, stop, that's enough." And then I'll say to the class, take a breath in, always working on a breath. And on an exhale, push down against my hand. But I'm going to resist. I'm not going to let the leg come down. And so what we're doing at that point is we're turning off the Golgi tendon organ. So on the second attempt, when I say take a breath in, exhale, now they're going to get deeper into the stretch. Do it again. Get deeper into the stretch. Do it again. I learned it from doing something called Kyokushinkai, which was a style of full contact Japanese karate. And then I just took it with me. I was boxing for a while at the Nerang Hotel, so I'd used my PNF there. And then when I became a personal trainer, I would use PNF a lot, and it's you'll find it's used very effectively and predominantly by ballerinas and martial artists,
Mm.
and that's the giveaway, because those guys have incredible range of motion.
No, absolutely, they do.
So for my guys, and no one dislikes it. No one goes, "Oh, I hate doing PNF." They all love it. It only takes us 5 minutes at the start of a class. So we have a warm up. They go through the warm up, whatever's on the board. They have a bit of a roll around on the floor and pretend that they're mobilising, and then we PNF. Takes us 5 minutes, and then we get on with whatever we're doing.
We didn't used to have a young group. That's only just started to change in the last couple of years. So it was getting quite old, and we were all, and the majority of us were all recovering back patients from Dave. So
yeah, right.
So,
tell me about that, Dave.
Well, we've got. I think our oldest member is like in his 90s, and when you get to 90 at our gym, you have lifetime membership.
Oh, yeah, that's great. All right, all my guys, hit 90, you get free membership.
So he's still going. So yeah, like a lot of our patients actually, a lot of our members previously were my spine patients, because that's my day job, right? For another couple of years before I'm a full-time CrossFit athlete. But
how did you get into CrossFit?
Myself, about 11 years ago, just going from being just a runner. I just used to run, and I enjoyed a bit of surfing and golf, and then realized that I had difficulty lifting up my garage door to get in the house. I thought, this is not. What's the point on being able to run a sort of 4-minute K and have difficulty lifting up the garage door when you come home? So it was like, oh, this is not really fit. I'm not really fit because I've got such a big hole in my physical ability. And then just one thing led to another.
And he was getting round, Brent. He was also getting round. He had
yeah, running. Well, I wasn't eating well too, Brent. You talk about, I was exercising a lot, but I was not eating well. I thought pasta was healthy.
Yeah.
I thought eating pasta was the healthy night out. And then as soon as even as a medical trained specialist, you don't realize how easily you can get duped by the big food industry and all the promotion or nonsense.
For sure.
And then you cut out the carbs, and then bang, and it's profound that's what Greg Glassman said 25 years ago in his Fitness in 100 Words.
Yeah.
Little starch, no sugar, lots of meat and natural fats, and to sustain physical activity.
Yeah.
It's so simple, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But like you, once you dip your toe in the water and you experience what functional training does to the body, how it makes it feel, and how it stimulates physiological changes, and not only physical but mental, you're just hooked.
Yeah.
And then you go and open a CrossFit box. Alongside your neurosurgical practice, right? So, but it then becomes a passion, right? It becomes a passion.
Yeah.
And passion is what makes life fun. Having passion. And probably like yourself, you like surrounding yourself with passionate people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love to see in anyone, it doesn't matter what it is, they could be passionate about butterflies, right? But as long as they've got a passion about something, they're enriched.
Yeah, I agree.
And everyone in our gym, we just sort of happen to share the same passion about, let's try to push our body to the maximum ability, whether it's a speed workout, a heavy workout, a gymnastics workout, and we just do it every day.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But But let's go. Can I show a video of some of your members?
Hang on. We got one question
Sure.
from Joe.
Oh, we got a question.
Got a question from Joe. What has your
what has
life
my
with
life with PKT
taught you?
Great question,
I think the
Joe.
biggest impact, Joe, one of the biggest impacts it's had is as a coach, because prior to going into renal failure, I had as we've seen, I've had a very athletic background. It's all I did anywhere I went. Even when I was teaching English in Korea for X amount of years, I was bodybuilding, I was playing soccer, I was playing basketball. I just shoved myself into anything I could that meant I was going to go fast. And consequently, when I started, even when I was a personal trainer, and that personal training revolved around training a lot of suits, lawyers predominantly, and trying to get them into shape. And I did a great challenge, actually, a great article for Who Weekly magazine. It was a state-to-state challenge. And but what I didn't understand was when people came into my gym and said, I'm unfit, I need help. I saw it through the lens of someone who was already fit and really didn't have any understanding of what unfit meant, because from a kid growing up, I just surfed, ran, played footy, blah, 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 blah. Having PKD has helped me understand when someone says they're unfit. When they can't do more than 5 minutes on a bike, I know exactly what it's like. Because when I first started back training, 5 minutes on a bike was all I could muster. And it clicked in my head, this is what it means to be unfit. This is what it means to need help and guidance. So I hope that I'm a better coach these days for people who come into my box and they need help and they are they're unfit, and I'm so much more in tune with what they're going through. Thanks, Joe.
So we can
So
see.
how does it impact on your actual coaching? Like, because like in terms of, obviously, you know, like some of the movements might be a struggle now to do. So how do you balance?
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Mari. She's going to show you how to do a muscle up.
2 coaches every night.
Yeah. No, look, I'm blessed that in most of my classes, I'm going to have someone in there that can demo if it's something that I can't demo. Look, and I've become a good talker too. I'm really good at yapping my way through workouts and explaining movement patterns, points of performance, do's, don'ts, you know, what's this. But every now and then, I'll have to grab someone out of the class and get them to someone I know that's competent in the movement pattern and get them. But yeah, it's not ideal. And that it's a source, again, it becomes a source of frustration in my head. And I have to be very aware of that, because I write 99.9% of our workouts. And I don't really take any notice of what I'm writing with regards to me having to coach. I write relative to where we are as a box, where we are as a, you know, community. What do I think we need to work on? And it's only till I get in the box that morning and go, oh crap, how am I going to demo this, you idiot? But you know, there's always a way around it. But I tell you, it's a really good point, because it's sometimes one of those things that it might get to a break in the day and I'll get down on myself because I can't coach that particular movement pattern. My biggest frustrations, any of the gymnastic movements, because I can't get my right arm over my head. I can't do pull-ups, where once upon a time I had a really beautiful flowing butterfly pull-up, kipping pull-up, chest to bar, all that stuff, muscle-ups. I loved muscle-ups. And now trying to talk people through them is frustrating, really frustrating.
Have you found other like benchmarks that you now sort of strive for? Like everyone has their, you know, benchmarks, and they constantly change throughout their athletic career.
Yeah, absolutely. I've watched the adaptive athletes
Mm-hmm.
on CrossFit Games, and more so now. So things like learning how to snatch, clean, and overhead squat with a bar. That's the next bastion, because my left arm's pretty good. It's got a
I
bit of
think
pain.
I saw
but
you. Were you
it's pretty
doing
good.
something with a one-handed, one-armed? Were you doing?
You're
I
doing
saw.
wall
Yeah, I was
balls.
doing.
You're doing wall balls
No,
and
I was doing
cleans
cleans. I was doing cleans and thrusters.
Yeah, yeah,
One-arm
with one arm.
thrusters.
yeah.
But it wasn't pretty.
Yeah.
I'd
But
like it
that's
to look pretty at some point.
That's a natural progression, isn't it? As your body sort of changes, your benchmarks sort of and your goals.
Yeah, it's such a good point. It's such a good point because, like, I remember before I had my knees replaced, I'd blown a knee out, I'd done something, and someone came in and I was on a rower and I had my bad leg on a skateboard and my other leg was in rower, and I was able to row because I didn't have to use my bad leg. It was on the skateboard going back and forth. And they're like, "Oh, dude, what are you doing? You're crazy." I'm like, well, it's kind of that whole theory. Just because I've got one bad limb doesn't mean I can't train the other limb. And we see so many athletes, excuse me, they'll take time, they'll drop out completely. Oh, I got a bad shoulder or bad arm or I hurt my knee. Can you put me on hold for a couple of weeks? And I'm like, well, what about the other leg? Number one. And number two, you will retard the dystrophy if you train that leg. You can slow down the dystrophy. That's been well proven if you train the other limb. There's a psychological wash off. So I'm always all about, there is no reason not to train. You'd have to chop both my arms, both my legs off to stop me from doing something.
Yeah.
So I think, and again, if you are injured, there's no better place to be than in the box with your crew, working out. You just say to your coach, scale me down. I've got this going on. Can you scale me down? Can you, I've got a guy in tonight. He's got tennis elbow? No, golfer's elbow.
Yeah.
And so, we just put him through some strength stuff for his grip and his extensors. We did some work through that while everybody else was doing their squats and their strength work. Smart. Work on the injury. Work on what's going. And we know these days that movement is better than non-movement.
Absolutely. Yes,
and athletes will say that over and over again. Oh, I felt so much better when I moved.
That's why we have a musculoskeletal system. Otherwise, we'd be a snail. Otherwise, we'd be a jellyfish.
Yeah, totally right.
You come back 4 hours. Come back 4 hours later, and it's still stuck on the letterbox. It hasn't moved. But this is how CrossFit described the spirit of the Open, and the award typically given to athletes who embody the community, perseverance, and grit that the Open represents, rather than just a high placement on the leaderboard. Did you know that how did you get nominated? Like, what happened in your
Mari?
Mari just
she
wrote
tell
to
me.
CrossFit. Is that what happened?
No, well, she put the post up.
Okay.
She made a little TikTok or Instagram video.
Yes.
When I was doing the wall balls, and I didn't know she'd done it. I had no idea. And she hashtagged Spirit of the Games, whatever the acronym was. And it got viewed so much. It's quite humbling and embarrassing. I was really humbled by how many people comments and just wonderful, amazing, beautiful comments. And guys like Dallin Pepper, Brent Fikowski got on there, left comments. It was really, really humbling experience. And then the next thing I know, CrossFit have sent me an email saying we're nominating you as Spirit of the Games week 2.
Oh wow!
So it's all about my wife. It's all about
the
lovely thing and what she'd written and.
Yep. And then I think when I was watching the announcement, I think they talked about it at the announcement as well, and they showed this picture.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's right.
And I said, oh, he's just down the road. It's fantastic. That is awesome.
We get a bar out of it.
Yeah. Has that arrived? A high bar, is it? It's coming from Rogue?
Yeah, I'm still building it. I'm actually I'm giving it to my wife.
Wow.
I'm getting a bar with her name written on it.
That's cool.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
She's a lot of my life, so
Let's,
she's the backbone of the family.
I want to show the viewers some of your members, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure, please.
Check this out.
Okay. Don't look, Mari.
Andrew.
I'm going to ask you both. Okay.
Paula and
Don't look,
Brendan?
don't look, Mari. Just after this.
Yeah, up against the wall.
How long have you been
That's
training
our builder.
at Beach? Just over a year.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Since January 2022.
Since January.
Since January this year?
Yep.
Yes.
This year.
Were you new to CrossFit?
Yeah,
Yes.
brand new.
Yes, totally.
Yes.
And what's your favorite thing about training at this gym?
The people
Probably just the social. Yeah.
It's family friendly. We like bringing our kids.
and the beach,
Oh,
yes, and the
that's
open
good.
air.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well,
It's for everyone, isn't it? CrossFit is for everyone.
Yeah, and we're blessed that we've got that beach there because
Mm.
a lot of mums and dads do bring their kids down. They just run off and play in the sand and do that sort of thing. But I think that's, I've worked in Globo gyms for a long time as a personal trainer. I know the Globo system backwards. And this is the thing about CrossFit. People, again, don't understand. They call it a cult and all sorts of weird stuff. But it's just an amazing community. It's so good for families.
Do you think there's something different about because we do use that word community a lot in the CrossFit sort of talks and discussions. Is it a unique community? Like, do you think you get that community in other, like say running clubs or like say your surf club? Is it different? Have you identified anything that's unique about a CrossFit gym community versus your local football team or something like that?
I guess the thing about CrossFit, it's kind of like being a flight attendant. It's interesting. I was in a flight attendant's room for a briefing one morning when I was flying with Ansett, and these two older women came in, and they were pretty old. They'd been both based in Sydney. Both had been flying for 25 plus years. They'd never met each other. I thought that was amazing. To be in a job 25 years, both of them.
Not on the same aeroplane. Not on the same aeroplane.
So I think that's the thing about CrossFit. None of my 5 a.m. guys have a clue who trains at 6 p.m. until we go to a Christmas party where we have a barbecue or something, and they go, "Oh, hi, how are you? Oh, you train at 6 o'clock? Oh, yeah, I train at 5 a.m. Yeah, no, we never see each other." So that's kind of a bit unique. You have these people that have been there quite a long time, and it's not until you have a social type function that they get to meet each other.
Do you do that fairly regularly at Avalon? Do you sort of have gatherings and like community sort of shindigs?
We did. We were doing it a lot more a while back. We used to do Friday night lights.
Yep.
Most Friday nights, and because upstairs of the surf club they've got a bar, so we used to go up afterwards and have a few shandies or whatever people would have. So it's a good thing. It's something we have to start to re-engage again because we don't do enough of it.
There's the 5 a.m.ers and the 5 p.m.ers, and there's an unwritten sort of feud, isn't there, in who's fitter. So we try to have at least once or 2 times a year some sort of community where we all come and throw down.
Right.
That always goes down really well. Fantastic. What else can you tell us about your experience with CrossFit and the direction that it's going in? Do you follow much in regard to the the organisation as a whole? Have you got any thoughts about the future direction of CrossFit?
Yeah, I think, look, it's healthy and it's strong. I don't know who's
Like at the moment, there's no CEO.
there's no specific,
there's there's all
it'll
that
be
sort of
interesting.
stuff.
I was really happy to see Castro come back in with programming and announcing events.
With the Open this year.
He's a voice of CrossFit. He's been there a long time, and a lot of people have that beautiful love-hate relationship with him. I think for a while there, I thought CrossFit was way too focused on its competitors and weren't really looking after affiliates and, you know, the people that actually pay the money to be there. I felt like their focus had been, everything was about the athletes and the Tia Claires and all that, and the rest of us were like, But I think the last couple of years they've worked a little bit harder. They've definitely worked harder to put more light on the affiliates and the programs and what we do and who we are out there.
I think they certainly seem to be recognising how valuable the affiliate and the memberships in those boxes are to the overall health and the economy of the business of CrossFit. Like
absolutely,
that's what makes it, doesn't it?
Yep. At the end of the day, that's the bread and butter.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Where there was probably a time where it was more focused on the elite athletes and not so much just the grassroots.
And there's people doing amazing stuff at grassroots level. You know, we don't see it, or we don't hear about it all that much. But you know, every day somewhere in the world, someone's life is changing because they walked into a CrossFit box and they've managed to stave off a disease or stave off something. Well, eventually, over the years, the 11 years, I've had 3 people come up to me and say, "You saved me from suicide."
Wow.
Yeah, powerful. And it upsets me a bit every time I talk about it, but because I know who these people are. But it's phenomenal, you know. It's a phenomenal training regime, and you know, it's wonderful. As you know yourself, wonderful things, little things happen in the gym every day. Someone gets their first toe to bar. We had these 2 crazy Argentinian guys join us about Luca and Leandro. Oh, boys, if you're watching, they joined us about 3 or 4 months ago. They had a little bit of CrossFit experience, but they went at it at 1,000 miles an hour. Oh, you boys would have loved them. They just do everything 100 miles an hour. They pick up the heaviest bloody weight, the heaviest, but whatever it is, they're going 1,000 miles an hour. And both of them last week got their first muscle ups. It was so cool. You know, just little
that's
things
always that's always a big thing, isn't it? Like those.
It is, look, getting their first toe to bar, get your first, whatever it is. You know, it's just so amazing to see someone because you know what they've gone through mentally and physically to achieve that. That goal. You know,
well, it's like it's strange, because like we live in this modern society where there's for a lot of people, there's just no outlet to achieve those types of things. You know, we're surrounded by 4 walls and a laptop computer, and the CrossFit box is like that 1 hour a day of being able to express your potential as a true human being who's not meant to be in a box and is actually meant to be swinging off branches and in the jungle, but we don't have the jungle anymore. So the jungle is the
box.
That's it. It's primally, and I think our brains are affected negatively by not having that.
Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. The amount of time and people like you spoke about this place, this entity where people can push themselves and strive and achieve something different. But these days, most people are finding it on a phone. doing selfies on a phone. That's their gratification.
Or
Yeah.
And I
dopamine
find
hit.
it, to be honest, I find it pathetic.
Yep.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yep.
You know, it just does my head in. But it is what it is.
It becomes a disease process, though, especially in young children. They're just now suffering from a disease, and I think they called it digital dementia or something.
Yeah.
And the brain scans on those people, talking about brain scans, their brains at the age of 20 look like someone who's got Alzheimer's disease.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That's terrifying because the hormones, the neurochemistry is corrupted.
And there was a study came out last week or the week before. It must have been the week before. And I'm pretty sure it was Princeton University, the psychs there. Since the inception of knowledge-based study and learning, each generation has cognitively been smarter than the previous. 2010, the first time a generation of kids have been dumber than the generation before.
Yep.
Is dumber the right word? Probably not, but whatever.
Yeah, it's just showing an evolutionary backward step.
Yep, and they put it to 2010 was when we first introduced computers to school.
Yep. It's concerning.
Interesting.
It's concerning.
And I mean, there's nothing wrong with the computers. There's nothing wrong with the phones. Have them, take a selfie, whatever. But just move. Find an hour of the day to move.
Yeah.
And challenge yourself.
Yeah.
And you just feel so much better.
Yeah.
100%.
It's crazy.
Have you got any projects, Brent? Like, are you going to try to get, say, get the local school kids to come and do some CrossFit or anything of that nature? Have you got any projects in the pipeline?
We coach Barrenjoey High School in terms 1 and 4.
Okay. The senior, like the grade 8s,
it's the
grade
younger.
7s?
Yeah, grade 8s.
Grade 8s,
I think it's 8 and 9. So we have them in terms 1 and 4. I used to run CrossFit Kids, but these days I've got to be really aware of my energy output. You know, I've got to, and if I'm going to beat this thing, I've got to actually start giving it some time, devoting some time to it, and really nail some pathways. Because I've been drifting along a bit willy-nilly, trying to run the box, run a family, et cetera. But in my head, now is a great time for the rest of this year to just nail some work on myself. It's a long, you don't think about it as much, but 4 hours, 3 days a week is a huge chunk out of your Monday to Friday. It's great. I can do some admin, but I can't race off to do something else. I can't do, I can do breath work, but that's probably already done. But I think down the track, I had this vision. I wanted to ride a bike around Australia just to raise awareness of not so much PKD or kidney disease, but actually the inverse of that, hey, you are still capable of moving, and moving is the best thing you can do when you are not well, and couple that with eating well. And I rode off to the Big Red Bus to see if they could support me. The Big Red Bus is like a bus. It's got dialysis machines on it.
Oh,
anyway,
yep.
They never got back to me, so that went down the sewer.
No, you got to try again. Got to try again,
those
Brent.
kind of things are in the back of my head all the time, It's,
do you connect up to like a fistula? Have you got like a fistula in your
arm?
Can you show us that? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you would have had to have a little surgical procedure to create that?
Yeah, that's correct. Actually, first one of its type in Australia, this one.
Okay.
I don't know what they did differently, but
right. Well, I mean,
creates a circle.
There was the option of some people have peritoneal dialysis,
which I did and I did peritoneal dialysis. So for people that don't know, peritoneal dialysis is you put a tube in here, goes in through the stomach, and then a fluid is drained into your stomach while you sleep. And through osmosis, your toxins are drawn out of your body into the fluid, and then the fluid is drained back into the machine. That whole process takes about 8 hours. The problem I had with it, because I'm constantly training and constantly wanting to do stuff, is I was constantly getting infections from sweat and stuff. And that's what after about 4 or 5 infections, they said, oh, look, this is not working for you at all. You're going to be, if you're going to want to train and get back surfing and get back in the water, you're going to have to do hemodialysis.
Yeah.
So hence.
What about, so how long did you do peritoneal dialysis for?
Probably about 3 months.
Yeah. Okay,
Not a
so
great
that's not
deal
a
of
very
time,
long
but
time. And then, so how long have you now been on hemodialysis for?
about 2 years.
2 years, right. And do they talk to you about transplantation?
Yeah.
Like a kidney transplant? Are you
So-
just waiting on a list or something like that?
I'm not even on a list at the moment. I'm 3 exams or 3 tests away from being on the list, which I'll.
How does that work? Or why are you not on a list if you're already on hemodialysis?
Because you have to go through a number of tests, a lot of tests actually, to make sure that your body is compatible to be able to take on a kidney in the first place. So it's not just about the, blood matching or anything like that. So if you are successful and you're on the list and say your time comes up, the kidney is actually placed in the hip, in the groin, in that shallow part of the groin. It's not, they don't rip the kidney out and put another one in. They leave the old one there. Okay. And so one of the tests they do is to make sure that you have the right makeup to be able to put it in the hip, or otherwise they've got to find somewhere else to bung it. So
that's crazy.
And there's a lot of drugs and stuff,
Does that worry you? If they said you were a match, would you proceed with that pretty major surgery to have a transplant? Knowing that you have to have some of the drugs as well.
I need to explore other stuff first. Mm-hmm. It's like a second. People don't understand why it's not my priority, but to me, it's second seat to. So I was saying to Anthony the other day, I've been looking at both the carnivore diets and the plant-based, and the common denominator between the two is pretty simple: remove processed food, sugars, and what have you. Mm-hmm. It's trying to work out which one I'm going to be able to stick to and give a really good crack for a long period of time to watch my bloods, to see what happens with my bloods. Because I'm pretty confident that, if I could stick it, I can reverse this thing. I'm really confident. They're cysts. At the end of the day, they are in some form a cancer. They're a makeup thereof, but they're also an expression of the body. The body's expressing something. Mm-hmm. And if I can work that out, then I 100% believe. I don't believe that I'm going to wake up one day and my kidneys are going to be, brand new. But I would like to be able to reverse it enough to get off dialysis. If I could get back to about 15 eGFR, and get off dialysis, I'd be stoked. And then just go from there. And so I know there was a video of a guy in somewhere in the US. He did steak and water. He was on dialysis and did steak and water, nothing else. Mm-hmm. And 9 months later, off dialysis.
Wow.
I just don't know whether, because usually renal failure comes through either diabetes or PKD, one of the two. I do know Dr. Anthony Chaffee. He's the guy in Western Australia, right?
Correct. Yes.
He's in Perth. Yeah. He's cool.
Yep.
So, I'm kind of well aware of where I've got to go and what I've got to do. As I said, I just don't know if this guy in the US was through whether it was a PKD or sugar thing. But whatever, he cysts on the kidneys. And it's a radical change. But for me, it's just like, I guess if once I embark on this thing, it'll be just like, starting out in CrossFit. I wanted to learn everything, and I was going to do whatever it took to learn every move in CrossFit. Or when I was bodybuilding, I wanted to understand everything about bodybuilding. So I've got to treat it like that again. It's just one of these things that I need to. So when you talk to me about a project, Dave, it's probably myself for the next 12 to 24 months.
Yeah.
And then I'd love to be able to go out there and say to people, hey, I did it. This is how you do it. Let me help you. Let me guide you.
Yeah.
And that would be the best. Being able to facilitate
if you could get off your dialysis machine, you'd be doing keynote speeches all over the world.
I'd just love to help people, mate. That would be the best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't look. Is it the answer? Will it work? Don't know until you try, right? Because everybody responds differently to these things, and our bodies respond differently. So it'd be an interesting time, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Have you kind of felt like
Have
you felt like you're in a bit of a holding pattern for the last 2 years? Like things haven't got any worse; they've just stayed the same. Like
absolutely. Nothing's budged, which is in itself is a good thing, because my GFR hasn't disappeared completely. So I still urinate. Things still function for me. Not great, but they still function. If the GFR, for people out there that don't know, that just means your kidney function. And so if you're under 9 and under, you're on dialysis. And I fluctuate between 4.5 and 5. So it's a really good point, Anthony, because I've got enough function there that I hope I can kickstart back, So wait and see.
Well, interesting the fact that it goes up like 4.55, like it's still changing, right? It's not like consistent in terms of just going, oh, okay, this is what it is, and there's no way to move it. You're already moving it. You're moving the needle somehow. Your body's moving the needle somehow.
I got a reading of 7 once. The nurse came back and she had notes out, and I was looking at them, and I went, holy fucking 7. And she went, oh, no, it's a mistake. Don't worry about it. I was like, oh, so bummed. I thought I'd been doing something. I see ice cream does work.
If only. Why does that stuff taste so good?
I heard you've got a penchant for ice cream, Dave.
I don't know who you heard that from.
No one.
Who's
I know the
Josh?
stuff is so good, though.
Josh is another member of yours?
One of our members. He's a lovely dude. He's a great guy. He's only joined. He hasn't been there a long time, actually, but just a lovely, genuine human being. Just love him.
Probably.
It's the same. Your members, you're just blessed with the people you have. Yeah.
They're like your family, and you're going to watch them developing, and they come once a week, then twice a week, then 3 times a week. The next minute they're sort of asking if they can have the key to come in on the days that it's closed, and they turn into absolute animals.
And I love sitting in the corner sometimes and just listening to the banter.
Yeah.
That goes on. It's classic. It's so good.
Yes. Does Mari coach as well?
She does. Yeah, when she's sure. Like I said, some mornings I'll wake up with migraines. It'll be just I can't get out of bed, so she'll whip down and cover 5 and 6 a.m. for me. She's an angel.
Do you have many staff? Is it just you and her, or is it?
It's me and her. We have a lovely girl there, Paula. She's only recently done a level 1, and she's charging along nicely. And I've got a guy, Matt. Matt has his own building business, and he'll just jump in and coach when I need him. He's a level 2, I think, level 1 or level 2. I'm not quite sure, but again, great coach. And I've got this girl in there, Lizzie. She should be a coach. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
And when I first went into renal failure, even though, she didn't have a level 1, she had to jump in and help out a little bit here and there. And, she's amazing too. Great coach potential. So, but, it's just a tiny box, mate. It's a tiny little family box.
Yeah.
There's days I wish for more space. I think, oh, man, I wish we were bigger. But then we wouldn't have the beach. So,
True. Yeah. Yeah. Can you put the beach outside this gym, Dave? That would be awesome. I'd really like to have the beach next to the CrossFit gym. Be quite good. So
Mate, you can bring your little ice bath in any day of the week.
you guys wouldn't let me keep the ice bath. You said it would look like
Yeah,
a
but
certain
this is
object.
what Anthony does. Brent, I'll tell you what Anthony does. He brings his ice bath in, fills it up with water, and then he tells other people to go and buy the $20-$50 worth of ice to chuck in it.
That's not true. I bought the ice. You cheeky bugger.
And then
So,
after a couple of hot, sweaty bodies that have just done a bloody workout jump in there, it's warm, tepid, disgusting bath.
Cesspit.
But Dave was one of the first to actually jump in, and I'll send you the video, Brent. I'll send you the video of Dave's experience in the ice bath. I'm trying to instruct and give him information so that he can be calm. And he says, "It's cold. Oh my god, my balls are gonna." And he never found peace in that ice bath.
Never found that place of peace.
He did not find peace. So but he's been jumping in cold water apparently. So he's got you got like an ice bath for Christmas, didn't you, Dave?
We do. We've got one on the veranda.
And are you jumping in that one? What temperature is that?
I wouldn't say it's an ice bath. It will become an ice bath in winter, but
I can bring some ice.
It's got a heater on it, so then I'll turn the heater on and bring it up to.
No, you won't. You don't need the heat. Yeah, use the heat. You jump into bed and you get warm.
I just do more squats and deadlifts. That's my little hack.
Yeah.
While Anthony's doing his ice baths, I'll do more.
Dave's complete hack for everything is CrossFit, Brent. So there is nothing else for that.
Mate, I love ice baths. It's so good. Love a good ice bath.
And that's pretty impressive that you're doing.
Either.
Well, it's pretty impressive you're doing it without any red blood cells.
No,
it's
mate,
pretty cold.
About 12 to 14 is all I tolerate.
Oh, okay.
I have at 12, 14, and even then, if it's down at 12 degrees or any below that, anywhere that I've got inflammation just aches like there is no tomorrow. The pain is next level. It's crazy. So, and I'm happy at 12 to 14. That's cold enough for me. I'd spend 3 or 4 minutes in there. That's enough.
Yep.
So
Do you wiggle it around, or do you sit right still?
No, move around a little bit, just kind of shake around.
You
can feel the cold a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I'm not, I don't know how I'd handle it if it was any cold. I have been in ice. Like when I did my course down in Thredbo, the morning we jumped in the Thredbo River, it was just off 0 degrees. It had snowed the night before. Man, and there's this photo of us all, doing the whole group hug thing, and everybody's like this, really stoic, and there's me in the background going, just freaking out, losing the plot completely. Oh man! So I just want to see. And when you have this thing, no red blood cells produced, no oxygen. So I regularly have to have iron shots and RNS, on a weekly, fortnightly basis to keep my iron count up because I just don't produce red blood cells. So I don't have that much oxygen flowing around my system. So you feel the cold. Like when I'm on dialysis, the first 3 hours is fine. The 4th hour, I'm freezing. I am so cold. Interesting, isn't it? It's bizarre.
Yeah. Okay. But and you don't do it every day, do you? It's like
3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah, 4 hours.
I have heard some people say if you do it too much, you can be a bit immunosuppressive almost.
I'd imagine it, mate. I don't like it. It's not my best friend, that's for sure. And, you know, again, I'll go through ups and downs with it. There's days I look at it and I just go, man, I don't want to do this. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's keeping you alive. I just recently, I think I was telling Anthony, we went to Singapore last week for family stuff. So the kids could see their granddad. And I went 4 days without dialysis. It's the longest I've ever gone without dialysis. And on day 4, which was Monday, man, I could barely walk. Oh, man, I couldn't walk up the stairs near my gym. There's 4 stairs. By the time I got to the top of the 4th stair, I had to rest. I was blown, absolutely blown. So you kind of understand how dialysis keeps you alive. You know, it's interesting.
So what do you do when you're doing dialysis? You just read a book, or like what
read a
is
book, paperwork, study, do something, program.
So you can use the time, you know.
Yeah, my left arm's usually pretty stable. It's stuck where it is, but I've got my right hand. I can, you know, have my laptop there, whatever. Play games with the kids.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. So it's not wasted time. It's not like the whole 4 hours is just, you know, you got to use those 4 hours, right? So
yeah. But there'll be days too when I, you know, have like, if I haven't slept well, if I've had a bad night of, you know, migraines and what have you, I'll lie back in the chair and just go out like a light and just sleep. And then you have good sessions and bad sessions. And,
do you sleep well? Do you feel as though
not
you need 8 hours or deep sleep, quality sleep if it's short?
It's short and sharp most nights. I usually sleep pretty well for about 5 hours, and then the next couple are pretty, like, especially with my right shoulder. If I roll onto that, it wakes me up, and then I have to roll back on my other side. So, but I think it just comes down to how much water they take off. If they take too much water off, I'm in trouble. I'm going to be in a bit of strife. And then the next day I'm washed out. I feel really washed out, like someone just put cleaning system through me. And I survive on coffee, as most of my members know. Have you had a coffee in? You know, which is not good because, you know, got bad enough kidneys as it is. Flushing coffee through them is not necessarily a smart thing. Not the best. So, and I can't hydrate. Like, I have to keep my water intake very, very low.
Right. So you don't make a lot of wee.
No.
Was there a time where you were making a lot of wee, like where you and then it just shut down?
It just fell off a cliff. Exactly the same. So before I went into renal failure, everything was normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an intriguing thing.
The kidneys are a little understood organ by the general population. You know, it's not something. It's just they just work in the background. You know, it's not like people always have a good understanding of the brain and the heart, but the kidneys are just there doing their thing, and it's really it's such a critical. I mean, like every organ, it's all critical, but yeah, it's
one system, Dave. One system. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So,
Brent, it's getting a bit late. What would you like to finish off with in terms of your wisdom, your experiences? Do you think there's any particular group in relation to CrossFit, you know, whether it's HQ, whether it's other affiliate members, affiliate owners, other members, that you have something that you'd like to sort of finish off with in terms of advice or?
Probably more so to, you know, to the members, you know, the people that come to CrossFit every day, and that's engage with your coaches. Don't see enough of it. Don't see enough people. You know, it's almost like sometimes coaches, there's great communication. Don't get me wrong. There's always great communication and what have you, and we can always be better at it. And I can always be way better at my communication. I think for me that's a bit of a. While I'm very outspoken and very, you know, I don't have any problems with talking. I can be better at my communication. But I think members have that capacity to go and talk to their coaches about sticking points, especially when it comes to wanting to decrease body fat and become like, no one can tell me they don't want to be more athletic and look more athletic, because that's just bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I know that 99.9% of people would say, oh, I wouldn't mind dropping a bit of body fat, or, you know, if you go back and look at my bodybuilding photos, they'll go, oh, I wouldn't mind looking like that. And I'm like, well, you can. You just got to put the work in. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do a muscle up. Anyone can do, you just got to put the work in. And so now it comes down to how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to decrease the body fat? How bad do you want it? And so there's this thing called the slight edge theory, which I love. And the slight edge theory tells us every day we wake up, you're either walking in the direction of your goals or you're not. There's no sitting on the fence. No sitting on the fence. There's no middle ground. You're either heading towards your goals or you're not. And that's, I live my life by that. Wake up and walk towards what I want to achieve, or not. It's just a simple choice, you know. And I think members can get a lot out of their coaches by taking on that principle and saying, okay, well, I want to decrease my body fat a little bit more. I want to get a little bit more cardio fit. Coach, what edge can I take here and get, you know, or bring it back to injuries. Coach, got this sore leg or whatever it is. How can we work around it? I think coaches in CrossFit have so much knowledge base and so much to give. I really do.
They are very influential. They probably don't know how much influence they have over people's lifestyle and choices.
Absolutely.
They probably underrate themselves, actually.
Yeah, I would say so. Adam Davison, been with me since day one. That bloke there, he's absolute rock. He's my guy I go and talk to when I'm having issues in my head. If I've got head problems, he's one of my guys. Him and Jeff, they're my slap me around the head. Wake up to yourself, dude. Have a coffee. Get on with it.
You're good.
Yeah, right. You know, everybody needs that. You need that mate. You need that buddy. That wake up, bullfed. Let's get on with it. Grab you by the hand, lead you out of your dark space. It's gold. It's absolute gold. It's like the community itself, the family itself.
Yeah,
100%.
Irreplaceable. That's magic. Mate, if you're in town, Brisbane, come make
Prince Vegas.
Drop in and say hi.
Buddy. We will
drop in and say hi.
Absolutely. We'll find an excuse to come up and annoy you.
Do a session with us. Meet Joanne, my missus
I'd love to
as
meet
well.
Joe. I'd love to meet Joe.
Absolutely amazing. Are you coming up for the Torian Pro maybe, or?
I'm not sure. I've got to talk to Mari about it.
Yep.
It's we didn't go last year, but we probably should go this year. So if we do, we'll come up early or come up a day late or stay a day late and come and see you guys for sure.
Absolutely.
That'll be
You'll
very
be
cool.
in the Torian Pro, Dave.
Maybe. I'm too scared. I'm too
Come
scared.
on,
Mate. I'm too scared. I want to sit there in the gold class sitting and watch all the action. Not
yeah, I hear you.
You know, it's
not get hammered.
My favorite weekend of the year to sit back and enjoy the show.
Yeah, absolutely, huh?
But that's great. We've got the online semi-finals as well. So, you know, there's just so many options, you know, for athletes as well nowadays.
Mate, best of luck to you and your athletes, all of you. Anthony,
thank you.
Best of luck to you guys.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Semi-finals and walking forward.
And
yes, walking forward.
Congratulations, Brent. Well-deserved inspiration, true spirit of the Open, and I'm sure we'll stay in contact in the future and hear more from you.
Thanks, boys. Truly humbled. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely,
Okay,
Brent.
mate.
You have a great night and look
I
after
will.
yourself. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks,
Tune
boys.
in
Talk to you soon.
every 2 weeks. We're here, mate. Tune in.
Okay, mate. I will. We will be, for
Bye now.
sure. 100%. Bye, mate.
Catch ya.
See you later. Whew,
Wow,
what an inspirator! Wow, deserved winner. What a legend. Like just simple truths. Simple truths.
yeah.
No
It's just
excuses. It's no
it's
excuses. Just move. Just move. No excuses.
it's
So
life experience too. You can see that he's got a lot of life experience,
yeah, he does.
and
He does.
you know to go through those sort of challenges of having your kidneys stop working. That's pretty scary, and you know I'm sure
Yeah.
Joey will sort of take on board some of the things he said there too. But yeah,
Yeah.
you've got to value your health, haven't you? You can't get it back.
You do, and it's also kind of probably a little bit of a wake up call to probably all of us. Like in terms of you can be running fit and enjoy your fitness, be grateful for it because
Mm,
it could get taken away from you, and then
yeah.
you've got to develop a new resilience, right? So
Yep.
which I think
Yep.
which is what Brent has done is like because many people, it's hard I think to be at the top of very many sports and then all of a sudden you can't do them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Imagine.
incredible mental fortitude
Yeah.
to continue.
I mean,
Yeah.
you had your blooming sore tooth the other day, and like think how it's just 3 days out of the gym. It's so frustrating. And
No, no,
I had
absolutely.
I had a bad asthma attack, last year, and was out of the gym for 5 or 6 days. It's like, oh my God.
Mm, mm.
Imagine someone saying, "No, you can never do that again." Like, holy
Yeah, you
mackerel!
can never, but I just like hearing the story about how he was rowing, like putting a skateboard on one leg and allowing that
Mm,
to move. Like
mm,
that's just
mm.
going, I'm not letting
Yeah,
anything stop me. I'm gonna
yeah,
continue to do something.
yeah,
Gonna do one arm thrusters and one arm wobbles, one arm cleans. No,
yeah,
I'm just gonna do it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so it's just
That's
no
just the type of
excuses.
attitude. That's the type of attitude, isn't it? That hopefully we can all find
Mm,
somehow in
yeah.
times of hardship. But hopefully we
Find
don't
it,
have
and
to.
then I think but you get it then, like, the community that lifts him up to be able to do that as well. It's a synergistic relationship there, right? So not only do you you're better because you're part of a community. You're willing to try, you're willing to give it a go, you're willing to stand up because you're supported, right?
Yeah,
It's not like you're
agreed.
doing it by yourself.
Yeah,
So
100%,
so yeah.
100%.
Man, that was pretty special, Dave. I really enjoyed that.
That was a great chat, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. Any little teasers for next fortnight?
Oh, should we say we'll just name names, right? Dylan Pepper, Jason Hopper,
Yep, yep.
Danielle Brandon. That's our
All
clue.
the boys interrupted. Who else?
Justin, I think Justin.
Medeiros.
Medeiros,
Yep,
Hepner.
yep. Hepner.
Um, who else?
This is a great teaser. This is a great teaser. Everyone's going, who have they got on the show next? Who have they got on the show in 2 weeks' time? I think
Yeah.
we might have to soundbite clip that little bit too and put that on the channel on the Instagram.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So I think it'll be quite exciting. It'll quite
Yeah,
exciting to speak to him. So
yeah, yeah.
so yes. Well, let's not say who it is, and
No, let's not say that. Yeah,
we'll
good plan. Good plan.
but
But
we'll
tune in 2 weeks' time. Like and subscribe to the channel. We want to get it out there. We want more Aussies hearing, learning, getting excited about CrossFit, and growing
And
this
thank you for everybody
incredible
from
sport.
CrossFit Avalon Beach, because
Yes,
our viewership was pretty good tonight. So,
we had a
pretty
lot of
exciting.
comments. A lot of
Pretty
comments.
exciting. So thank
there's-
you for joining us to speak about your wonderful coach.
There's a lot of love there. All right, mate. I'll
All right.
see you soon. Bye.
See you, mate.